Welcome viewers to another episode of Sky is the Limit. My name is Faheem Bangash. Today we are in the compound of Comstech. What's Comstech? Comstech is the OIC Standing Committee on Science and Technology. It's a beautiful compound here that we're in, and we will be meeting the head of Comstech today, and I will tell you the name and his designation and everything about him, because the whole program is about him today, about him and about Comstech. And we will get into details about that, and we will also get to know all the functions of Comstech. We will get to know so many things that we don't know already, and definitely it's going to be very knowledgeable for both you and for us. So, shall we?
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you
too. Okay. How are you?
Wonderful.
Mashallah, welcome to Comstech.
Thank you so much.
Delighted to have you.
Lovely. Well, viewers, this is the guest that we were talking about. This is Prof.Dr. Iqbal Chaudhary, and we will be talking to him about the whole organization and about him, his personal life, and his goals and future, whatever plans he has for the future. So, shall we, sir?
Very welcome. Comstech is a standing committee which is represented by 57 ministers of science and technology and chaired by the President of Pakistan.
Right.
And our primary role is to promote science and technology based socio-economic development in the country. So you can see that in this exhibition area, which we use for exhibition of technologies, you can also see every country has its profile. So we serve as an observatory for science and technology related development in each state. So every year, for all 57 states, individually we monitor their progress in science and technology, what achievement they have, what are the needs, what are the areas in which they have developed capacity. And based on that, then we plan for future.
Lovely.
In this whole process, our emphasis is largely on least developed countries. Mm-hmm. Because you see, in the Muslim world, there are a lot of, unfortunately, dissymmetry. We see some countries are developing while other countries are very lagging behind.
Underdeveloped, yes.
And in that case, inter-Islamic cooperation is extremely important, and this is the role of Comstech to develop that. And because of the Comstech effort, we can see many OIC countries
efforts.
Absolutely. We were able to develop science and technology policy for many OIC countries.
I see.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful compound that we got to see while coming upstairs here, sir. We would definitely like to know, we and our viewers, as to you right now are the Coordinator General of Comstech, but we'd also like to know where you were born and your early years, and did you ever think that you'd perhaps one day become the Coordinator General of Comstech?
Faheem, I was born in Karachi in a family of 4 children. So I have 3 younger brothers and sisters, and my father was actually working for the government for quite some time.
Right.
We used to live in a very serene place in Malir, Kent, so we had a very wonderful childhood and lots of very good activities which we were able to do. Of course, I was very fortunate to have a very good quality education. And then, of course, at that point of time, my parents really wanted me to, become a scientist. So my career started as a science student, and then I was able to benefit from very good institutions, travel all across the world, went to some of the top institutions of the world. And when I came back, I joined University of Karachi as an assistant professor, moved to become a professor of organic chemistry, and then I joined this research center, which is called International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences. And from that particular position as a researcher, I was able to develop lots of linkages. And I think this is one of the reasons why Excellency the President has selected me for the position of the Coordinator General for Comstech.
And how long has it been that you're Coordinator General here?
It's almost like 2 years.
2 years, right.
And been extremely busy because this is an organization which has a big mandate, a lot of responsibilities, and we really want to use this organization as science diplomacy institution for the country. So we have a great mission, and we're looking forward to have Comstech becoming one of the premier organizations of the world.
And are you married?
Yes.
MashaAllah. And what about the children?
I have 4 children, 2 sons and 2 daughters, and mashallah, very happy that they are extremely intelligent, very hardworking, and they do have...
If they have your genes, they must be intelligent.
Alhamdulillah.
So have they also gone into the field of science?
My daughter is a medical doctor, and she is in public health right now. So she has this tendency of developing lots of interesting research-based questions. The others are in different fields. My son is actually a banker. Younger daughter, she's in engineering field. She's working in the field of textile engineering. And the younger one, the youngest one, is in media science.
Also, another question that comes to mind, being a resident of Karachi and being a scientist is not something that's really common in Pakistan. How did you come up with that idea, or your father for that matter, that you should be a scientist living in Pakistan? Because often when we hear about research, it's coming from Johns Hopkins University, Yale, Harvard, we don't really, consider that we perhaps could produce a scientist of our own.
The fact is that, this nation is extremely intelligent. Our young people have lot of potential, and they're bright and bold, and I'm sure that if we provide them opportunity, they can become scientists, scholars of all kind. And I was very fortunate that my parents gave me this, training of learning. They were very, very supportive. So I developed this habit of inquiry. So I was always curious. I was a curious learner. I wanted to learn about everything, about universe, about animals, about climate, about people, about health, from very childhood. And that has been the foundation of my career, which eventually made me a scientist. Now, I was in top institution of the world. I was initially went to Pennsylvania State University. Then I was at Cornell. I worked at UCSD, University of California at San Diego. And then decided to come back and serve Pakistan. And this was, right from the beginning, my objective was that to benefit from the best institution, then come back to Pakistan and serve Pakistan.
That's awesome, because not many people do that, and that's why we have so much brain drain in the country, because people just want to leave. And also, while I was reading your profile, it said chemistry, organic chemistry, biochemistry. Why the interest in chemistry?
You see, everything around us and within us is chemistry. I mean, how you look like, or how you think, what are the diseases, what is health, our emotions, our anxiety, everything is chemistry. Understanding chemistry is actually understanding nature. And when I was selecting, of course, discipline, chemistry fascinated me a lot, because the explanation at a molecular level of everything, from natural phenomena to disasters to health, to diseases, to people, to genes, everything is actually related to chemistry.
Lovely, lovely. So now that you're heading Comstech, Also enlighten us on the exact job nature of Comstech in Pakistan.
Okay, Comstech is an international organization. This is the only interdisciplinary organization in Pakistan. And this is an OIC institution which is hosted by Pakistan. So it was established in 1981. And being Pakistan, being a host institution, is responsible of supporting Comstech. And we have been very fortunate to get full support from the President of Pakistan, from the Presidential Secretariat, from Ministry of Science and Technology, from Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And our primary job is to work with 57 member states. And 57 member states in 4 different continents, from South America to Africa, Asia, Europe. And primary objective of Comstech is to develop science and technology in these countries, because science and technology are the driver of change.
Yes.
Today, if you look into the socio-economic development, this is primarily based on technology. And cooperation between the Muslim countries to develop science and technology and then to use it for the benefit of people, that is where Comstech play an extremely important role.
No, that's true, because the era that we're living in right now, I think that's wholly and solely driven by technology. Starting from the mobile phones, and then your computers, and then digitization of everything that we see on a daily basis. Yes, that's all, and I mean so many other fields that I might not know of, definitely. So how do you spend your day when you come to the office?
You see, we start our day very early, and it's always extremely busy because we have to work at different levels. We have our own staff who are working on different programs, and of course we need to have lots of meetings with the ambassadors, with the government officials. And every day is a very exciting day because we're working on various initiatives. We see the impact of what Comstech is doing. We would like to see Comstech playing a crucial role in the Muslim world, and to use Comstech as a primary instrument of Pakistan's science diplomacy. So there are a lot of work which has to be done, and we have a wonderful team of people. We have lots of people, and especially our senior officials with whom I have a meeting now. That is the core and brain of the Comstech.
Lovely. And what would be the strength, if I ask, of this organization right now?
The strength of this organization is primarily 2, that we are capable of interacting with lots of institutions. So networking is the greatest strength of Comstech, because we have linkages in all 57 countries, and we work with the institution. We work with individuals, we work with universities, government officials. Second is that we have been very innovative. We know that we have limitation of funding, that very often the Muslim countries do not really spend on science and technology. In that case, we are trying to develop programs which are of low cost and high impact. For instance, we are working with the youth and giving them opportunity of developing their innovation. We have a technology portal. We work with women scientists. We work with institutions in Africa and these developed countries. So we have been extremely innovative over the years, and these 2 strengths make us more impactful in different areas.
Right, we will get into in-depth discussions regarding that as well, but now since you said you had a meeting, so we'll let you head that meeting, and we will be right back. You stay tuned to PTV World.
So diversifying the sources, where and how they can be supported from the international organization. So Comstech's basic instrument of implementation of key science and technology indicators can become more effective.
The meeting that you had on 20th December, they have all been informed to reorganize themselves. Indeed, some of the networks are already managing their resources very well. They have started doing projects with European Union and with even North America.
So, Chaudhary Sahab, this is quite a meeting. I mean, you do take your stuff very seriously, don't you?
You see, our strategy is to actually not only that we plan, but we implement them very seriously. And we've been very fortunate that we have some of the brightest people working for this organization.
Because that's where it makes a difference, because many people come and it's just mincing words and, as they call it, just saying things out loud and not doing stuff, not doing any action about it. So that's the different thing that you said, we implement things. And that's something different that I have come across in Pakistan as well, because many people just say things out loud, but we don't get to see action.
See, Comstech is a mission-oriented organization, and this was made with the understanding that Pakistan, which has some of the finest research institutions, some bright individuals, should be able to benefit other Muslim countries. We feel that we have a very serious task ahead of us. There is
At a
great
global level.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah. You know, in 57 countries, this is the second largest group after United Nations. So we have a whole canvas, and we have to be very focused, and we need to make sure that we implement what we, decide. So implementation is a great strength of this organization, and over the years we were able to implement many projects which benefited many Muslim countries.
That's amazing. The more I'm getting to know about the organization, the more fun I'm having. Now, we'll also let you people have fun.
Please.
So, I can't help but notice, but there are pictures of Nobel Prize laureates here. Who are they, and at what fields have they excelled?
Nobel Prize is the highest award in science and technology, and Nobel Prizes are actually given in the field of physiology and medicine, chemistry, physics, and others. What we have done in Comstech, that we have actually placed the photographs of Nobel laureates, and these are our inspiration. Our inspiration is that we really want our youth to be inspired from them and to eventually achieve this high award for the Muslim world, inshallah. So for instance, this is the photograph of Professor Young, and he received a Nobel Prize in 2017. And he actually worked in the field of physiology and medicine. And what he has discovered was largely the mechanism of action of circadian cycle, What is the impact of sleep cycle? What actually happens when people do not really follow the normal routine of life, and what kind of physiological impact they would have. So he was able to decipher the whole process at a molecular level.
I'm sure.
Nature and health.
I'm sure. Right. Shall we, sir?
Sure. Very bright young people who are actually responsible of the actual projects which Comstech is carrying out.
I see.
Please have a seat. And then online we have some foreign scholars from different countries who are currently in Pakistan under different Comstech programs. So it's a blend of what Comstech is doing from the headquarters, and what are some of the results of Comstech activities. One of it that we have been able to to facilitate the mobility of scholars from different countries to different institutions.
So on Zoom, do we have participants from different cities or from different countries? What exactly are we watching there?
Okay, so this is one institution which is called International Center for Chemical and Biological Sciences, UNESCO Center in Pakistan,
Right.
where Comstech is sending scholars from different countries. So you see scholars from Burkina Faso, from Sudan, from Cameroon, from Nigeria, from Azerbaijan, from Kazakhstan, from China and other countries. So these young scholars are the great strength of OIC.
The Comstech, is it assisting the exchange programs as well?
We have many programs. We have about 100 different initiatives which we carry out in different regions of the world. And one of the flagship programs of Comstech is to facilitate the mobility of younger scientists from one country to the other and provide them opportunity of working in the top class laboratories.
Most certainly. And then what about the budget allocation? Because you said, is this an autonomous organization, the Comstech?
In the OIC system, there are different organizations, like United Nations organizations. OIC has lots of organizations also. Ministerial Standing Committee are the premier organization. They are among the top organizations in the OIC system. Comstech is a Ministerial Standing Committee for Science and Technology, and this is comprised of 57 ministers of science and technology, chaired by the President of Pakistan, and that gives Comstech a very high stature in OIC system.
Well, that's amazing, really. And while I was having a look at the pictures of the Nobel laureates, but I'm going to ask you that question after a while, because you have to head a meeting here, so I'll let you hold that meeting first, and then we can continue with our discussion.
Thank you very much. So, Assalamu alaikum. Khazima, how are you? How's your team?
Walaikum salam, sir. Sir, we are fine and hope you're doing well as well.
I wanted to know about this Women in Science program. We would have at least 200 visiting women scientists in science and technology, especially selected fields in the area of health, agriculture, energy, water, to be supported by Comstech.
Sir, the plan for next 1 year, as you said, is to target at least providing 100 fellowships to the women scientists. And our preference would be given to the women scientists covering from the least developed countries, because those are the people who...
I mean, Africa and Central Asia
yes,
and other,
sir. Yes, sir. And sir, the countries particularly will include, as you said, least developed countries from the Africa, like Cameroon, Chad, Nigeria, Cameroon, and other than that from some of the Central Asian countries as well. We already have fellows in one of another research fellowship program from countries like Azerbaijan, Kazakhstan. So
they're already here.
Yes, sir, they are already here, but in another program which you already have mentioned. Sir,
so how many fellowship programs we have in general?
Sir, in total we have 5 fellowship programs. One is for particularly focusing on virology and vaccine technologies, and other is for the technicians of for the technicians training program. It is a short-term training program where we generally offer training from 4 to 6 weeks, and another program is for the least developed countries. It includes, we accept applications from both the male and as well as the female. And we have another program which we would be starting soon, which will be focusing on agriculture as well. These are the programs that we have.
Thank you, Khazima. Haris, see, there are lots of potential in youth. And even during COVID-19, innovation by young people has made their way, and we can see that there are lots of innovation, there are lots of technological development. And we have developed this technology portal. So what is the progress of this OIC technology portal?
Sir, keeping in mind the progress of technology in the OIC world and globally, we have targeted the audience of the technology parks within the OIC countries, specifically for Turkey, Egypt, Malaysia, Pakistan, Tunisia, Morocco, and UAE and Saudi Arabia. So we've been writing to them and engaging them to participate with the prototypes, the research, the patents, and the commercial products, or the products which can be commercialized and be beneficial for the global youth.
So scholars from different countries, I hope your work, your research work and your scientific work is proceeding smoothly and that you're benefiting from the visits.
Yeah, fine, alhamdulillah. This is Latif Dar from Sudan, Medicinal and Aromatic Plant Research Institute, National Center for Research. I am a postdoctoral research fellow here, close to ICCPS.
I'm sure that your training in ICCPS would help you to work in Sudan also and to discover a new treatment of diabetes, because it's very common in Arab countries and African countries. Inshallah. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Let's move on to more areas of the compound, but after a short break. Stay tuned. A wonderful place that we're sitting in. I wasn't expecting the rooftop to be like this. Well, so we were talking earlier about Nobel Peace, not just peace, but Nobel laureates, right? And last year I do remember reading a news item and that had your name on it when the Mustafa Prize was given for scientists of the Muslim world. And you were among that, and not just the fact that you're striving the organization and people of this country to be a pride for the nation, but you yourself was pride for Pakistan. Could you tell us the details of that?
Alhamdulillah, thank you, Faheem. You see, I've been working in the field of science since last 3 decades.
Right.
And my focus has been largely on neglected diseases. And last year I received Mustafa Prize, which is called Nobel Prize of the Muslim world.
Exactly.
And this is given to the scientist who has contributed in the Muslim world on something which benefit humanity. And this particular prize, I mean, I've received many international prizes and national prizes also. This was particularly focused on the discovery of anti-epileptic medicine. Epilepsy is a neurological disease. As you know, that this is one of the most common neurological diseases. Unfortunately, lots of people are suffering from epilepsy. This become a chronic, lifelong disease which affects every aspect of
Every
life.
aspect of life.
And unfortunately, despite all the development, there is no single medicine which is available which can cure all kind of epilepsies, because epilepsies are very complex. So what we have done was that we started looking into the nature, and we decided to work on medicinal plants which people use for the treatment of epilepsy. And from that about 10 years long research which we have conducted on anti-epileptic medicine plants, we were able to isolate, identify and synthesize a molecule called isox. This is now internationally patented, and this is considered to be one of the most potent anti-epileptic agent known to humanity. This is in the final stage of development. This is second phase of clinical trial. This is patented in Europe, China and USA. And this discovery has very special meaning for me, because I know many people with epilepsy, even in my own family also. And I really want to have something which benefit this large proportion of people affected from this chronic disease.
And the best part would be that not just the fact that it covers all the aspects of epilepsy, but also with minimal side effects?
This is a natural product isolated from a medicinal plant, and people are using this medicinal plant since centuries. So we assume that it's going to be safer than the existing drugs.
And has it been tried and tested on people yet?
Yeah, as I said, that this is in the second phase clinical trial. The first phase was completed in Canada. The second phase clinical trial, which primarily focused on establishing the efficacy in human patient, is currently underway. But even before that, there were lots of work carried out on animals of different kinds. Toxicology assessment was carried out, different derivatives are made. There's a whole package of work which was conducted and is now internationally recognized.
I see. And so when can we expect this to be in the market, roughly?
I assume that ISOX, if it complete the phase 2 clinical trials, and if we are able to raise funding for the phase 3 clinical trial, it should be available within 3 to 4 years.
That's lovely. I think it's good news for all people who have epilepsy of any kind, because they suffer a lot. The dependency that they have to go through, so many restrictions that they have to come across in their daily activities, and not being independent like they should be. So yes, I think I'm empathetic towards many of the people who do, because this is going to be a life-changing medicine for all of them. And this is something, yes, you definitely deserved that prize for this. And I'm sure it will be a magical experience for all of the people who try it later on, when it comes into the market, inshallah. Also, while I was talking about medicines and, students and exchange programs, and we also saw some students on Zoom as well, how many universities are working with Comstech for the exchange program students?
Comstech has established many networks, and one of the most important networks is called Comstech Consortium of Excellence. And that these are some of the top institutions in the Muslim world, in Turkey, in Iran, in Bangladesh, and in Malaysia, as well as in Pakistan. So I would say about 50 top institutions of the OIC, which are currently part of this consortium of excellence. And our objective is to use those institutions for the training of scholars, for developing common research projects, to work on problems which are of common nature. And because eventually at the end of the day, universities are the center places from where knowledge is generated, and is all about generating knowledge and using it for the benefit of humanity.
And also, are we, when we say university, are we talking about research labs, or are we just talking about university and university classes?
In every university, there are research centers, and some of them are really good. So what we have done is that universities are the members of the consortium, but among those universities, the research centers, which are of absolutely world-class stature, we have put them together into a network. And we use those research centers as the example of International Center. You have seen that scholars from different countries are actually working there. Same in Middle East Technical University, same Shahid Beheshti University in Iran, International Islamic University in Bangladesh, National University of Science and Technology in Pakistan. So these institutions are used, and especially their best S&T institutions, R&D institutions, are the places where scholars are coming for trainings and research.
So we're talking about research labs here, we're talking about universities here, and what about, are we talking about the PhD level students here, or are we talking about even the MPhil level students here?
Research scholars can be of any level. They can be from masters to PhD, even postdocs can come.
I see.
Our emphasis is largely on least developed countries. And you see, 57 countries, the canvas is very wide, and we are bringing scholars from the countries where there is a real need. Currently, our emphasis is on Africa, because out of 26 member states, OIC member states in Africa, 17 LDCs are in Africa. And we are trying to bring them on board, not only through scholarship program, but also we have initiated Health Africa program, in which we are sending teams of doctors to carry out health camps, eye camps, train them in complex surgeries such as retinal surgeries, neurologists, training them in neurocritical care and stroke care. Dermatologists are going to different places also. And Health Africa program is actually focused on 4 countries every year. So every year 4 African countries are focused and with the objective to build the capacity of their local doctors. One interesting program is that, in West Africa, the population of West African OIC is about 180 million. And there are only very few ophthalmologists. You're very, very fortunate in Pakistan that you can go and meet with the eye surgeon or eye specialist anytime. But there are countries where very few ophthalmologists and eye specialists are there. So with Islamic Development Bank, we are initiating the training of 100 ophthalmologists in Pakistan. This is fully funded by Islamic Development Bank for their travel and their local hospitality. And our local institutions, top-class health institutions, are going to train them in diploma in ophthalmology. So this would have a great impact, because when they will go back to their countries, they will be able to serve their communities, and blindness is a major problem. Similarly, we have, during the COVID-19, there was a strong realization that the capacity to diagnose viral disease is very, very low in Muslim countries. So we have created a network of virology laboratories, and we are developing their capacity in the field of disease surveillance, disease diagnosis, reporting, understanding the protocol, understanding how to carry out these technical.
You were early in the meeting, you were talking about the water problem as well. So yes, I think you people are doing everything that you people can in the capacity to counter all the problems, not just the health problems, but also like, for example, provision of clean drinking water in many of the African countries where it's not available, right? Now, also, like you mentioned, the virology department you've been working on. Where does Pakistan stand if you talk about the Muslim countries?
The response to your question is that Pakistan is very fortunate to have some very good institutions and highly professional healthcare workers, doctors, scholars, scientists. There are some other countries also, such as Malaysia, Turkey, Iran, Egypt, very high quality manpower. But when you look into the whole canvas of the Muslim world, you find that majority of the Muslim countries do not have that excellence in science. And our objective is to use these excellence which already exists in the Muslim world for the benefit of the others. This is the spirit of Ummah, that if we wish to develop, we need to develop together. There is no dearth of talent. There are lots of bright young people all over the Muslim world, and the emphasis need to be on their training, on developing their skills, providing them opportunities of learning in the top-class laboratories, and then using these science and technology and innovation for the socio-economic development. And this is the reason why we are actually acting as a bridge between scientifically efficient countries with scientifically lagging countries, and that is where Comstech play an extremely important role.
And I think Comstech is also playing a very significant role where unity of the whole Muslim Ummah is concerned, because naturally we know the era in which we are living today, there are loads and loads of conflicts even among the Muslim countries. I don't want to get into politics, but all I'm saying that maybe it will help all the Muslim countries get united on one platform, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely, because science has no boundaries. It has no political boundaries or ideological boundaries, and science is something which can unite people. So when it comes to science and technology, and when it comes to solving common problems of the Muslim world, Comstech find no difficulty in bringing Muslim countries together. Despite of their ideological differences or political alliances, Comstech has been very fortunate to bring bilateral, trilateral arrangements of cooperation within the Muslim world. And this is a great strength of Comstech.
Most definitely. And also it's very heartwarming to know that this responsibility lies on the shoulders of Pakistan, because Pakistan, the overall image of Pakistan, the government of Pakistan has been trying its level best to improve that image. And I think moving forward in the right direction in the field of science and technology for all of the Muslim countries of the world, this is both a responsibility and an opportunity for Pakistan, don't you think so?
Yeah, absolutely. I think having an institution of this stature, Comstech, which is responsible of science and technology cooperation in 57 countries, give Pakistan a great political leverage. It is an instrument of science diplomacy also. Being in host
Science
institution,
diplomacy.
absolutely.
Exactly.
Being in host institution, anything which we do for the Muslim world would have a positive impact on Muslim Ummah. Will be able to have this feeling of helping our brothers and sisters. At the same time, Pakistan get political dividend out of it. So we feel that being a host of such a prestigious institution, Pakistan has great advantage over others.
So, how far do you think Comstech has come in all these years, and how much potential do we have in order to take Comstech forward, or should I say, leaps and bounds forward?
Comstech has a great potential, and Comstech can really help in the development of the Muslim world, because in today's world, science, technology and innovation are the driving force, and that is the fourth industrial revolution. And we know that this is exactly what the development model which suits the Muslim world. Intellectually driven development rather than capital development.
Exactly.
So we do not have money, but we have lots of bright people, and if we can bring them at par to the international level in terms of training and education, this would help the Muslim world to develop. And Comstech has, huge potential. What we are trying to do within our limited financial means, we're trying to have those innovative initiatives and programs which have a great impact. But of course, there is sky's a limit, and we feel that a lot need to be done. We feel that Comstech deserves to be supported, not only by the host country Pakistan, but also by the other countries also, because their contribution would benefit them more than anything.
Of course.
And this would magnify the financial contribution in terms of the benefits which they would draw from Comstech's initiative.
So how active has Comstech been in the last, say, 5 to 7 years?
In last 2 years, I would say, since this responsibility was given to me, despite the fact that there was a COVID-19, we tried our best to be very active. We have been very active virtually. We conducted lots of training courses, workshops. We were able to move despite the mobility problem. We were able to bring scholars from one country to the other. We were able to have funding for the research projects. So in the last 2 years, we have funded about $0.5 million research project in developing OIC countries. So Comstech has initiated lots of programs, and of course many of them need to be magnified and to include more countries and to include more partners.
And so how much support has the government given you? And I'm talking about support in all aspects, all spheres.
I would say that being a host country, Pakistan has been very responsible. We're very fortunate to have full support of presidency. The President of Pakistan is the chairperson of Comstech, and this gives us lots of leverage. This is a strong point Comstech enjoy, and there is a great understanding in all ministries and also in government circle that Comstech is an instrument of Pakistan's science diplomacy, and that Comstech is the only organization, only that the Comstech is the only international organization which Pakistan hosts. And this is the reason that we've been very fortunate to get support from Ministry of Foreign Affairs, from Ministry of Science and Technology, from Presidency, from Prime Minister's Secretariat. In terms of financial support, Pakistan is the major contributor towards Comstech. There are other countries also contributing, and in all cases, whatever the contribution which it received from any member state, we add on our part through international support, and that country get benefit more than what they have contributed.
Lovely. And so, sir, now that Comstech is under your leadership, where do you see Comstech in the next, say, 5 years?
Our objective is to primarily focus on youth.
Right.
And we would like to emphasize more on their capacity building. My dream is to bring as many possible, as much as दोबारा कर लेते हैं इसे, so Comstech in next 5 years, Comstech in next 5 years is actually focusing on key issues such as water, food security, health, and in all these our emphasis would largely be on least developed countries and on youth, and that is where we want to have the greatest contribution Comstech making in next 5 years. We would like to engage as many youth as possible. We would like to develop their capacities in emerging technologies related to these issues. We would like to help member states to develop their own policies and enable them to implement those policies also. We would like African countries to benefit from the excellence which exists in the Muslim countries. So overall canvas is focused on developing indigenous capacities of OIC member states so they become capable of using science and technology innovation for the benefit of community.
And like you mentioned that you're focusing more on the youth, right? So what if a child, a student from, let's say, a lesser developed city, in Pakistan I'm talking about, comes up with a very innovative idea and something that would perhaps, it would be a game changer. So do you people liaise with all the universities of Pakistan, or what is the method of accessing you people?
Comstech programs are open for everyone. Being an international organization, anyone can apply for various research grants, training courses, to go to other institutions where relevant work is conducted. And anyone with a bright idea can benefit from Comstech program. Of course, Pakistan being a host country, is the greatest beneficiary, you know, because
Absolutely.
it's always the case.
Absolutely.
And we have initiated youth innovation program. There is a technology portal. If anyone has a bright idea, if they have developed a prototype of a product, they can always place that on OIC technology portal, which is run by Pakistan, by Comstech. And by doing so, they will be able to have end users and developers. They may be able to get people who are willing to finance their ideas. And of course, Comstech can do that to some extent also. But there is a mechanism in place in which technology is linked, innovators are linked with the end users.
Lovely. That's lovely to know, because you've made it accessible for most of I think all the people who are living not just in Pakistan, but also in the other Muslim countries. So that's really, really amazing to have seen Comstech today, to have known about Comstech today. And as far as the technology portal is concerned, I would love to know whether there is an app for it or a website for it, because if it's there, we would definitely like to show it at the bottom of our screen so that people can access it.
This is on Comstech website. It is a separate domain, but linked with the Comstech website.
Right.
It's very easy to use, and the information which you place on technology portal would be viewed by people all around the globe. And based on that, we are also planning to have a large exhibition in Turkey in collaboration with the Turkish partners. And you know, selected technologies would be displayed to the world. So it could be anything from R&D institution to individuals to companies. Anyone can bring those technologies, and if they are really useful, I'm pretty confident that they would be able to find end users and people who are willing to invest in the development of those technologies.
And do we have exhibitions right here?
We have been organizing regularly exhibitions of, in last 1.5 years, we had 3 large exhibitions on artificial intelligence in health. We had exhibition on COVID-19 technologies. Recently, we have carried out an exercise of understanding how agriculture can be, artificial intelligence can be used for the promotion of agriculture sector in the Muslim world. So there are a number of exhibitions which we have organized, and we are planning to organize those in other countries as well.
No, sir, it's an absolute honor to have met you today. And if I speak the truth, I did not know the details about Comstech. And coming here and getting to know, I think this is hugely beneficial for the youth of the country, because today is an era where we have to be technologically sound, where we have to, it's a race in the world. Whoever is technologically more sound will be forward. There is extreme competition all over the world. And I think that you people are doing a great job focusing on the youth, channelizing their energies, their potential into going for something that's innovative and that would be perhaps beneficial for not just the people of this country, but the entire world. Absolute honor, sir. Hopefully we will be in touch with you, and hopefully I think the electronic media should be covering Comstech and its projects more and more, so that all the people who don't know about the potential of Comstech should be knowing about it, not just in English but in Urdu as well. And I'm sure that will happen, because under your leadership you're taking it forward in the right direction, in a wonderful direction. And I think this is a chance for Pakistan to gain this and grab this opportunity and show the entire world what Pakistani youth is made up of. So, sir, thank you very much. It was an absolute honor talking to you and getting to know about Comstech, and which, by the way, is working beautifully under your leadership. And I hope and I pray that it goes leaps and bounds.
Thank you very much, Faheem. It's an honor to have you.
Sir, thank you.
And thank you very much for visiting us. Thank you.
So viewers, this was the visit of Comstech that we did today, and I'm sure along with me you people also got to learn something or the other about Comstech and how it works. And I'm sure this has been very beneficial for all the students who are studying in the universities. for all those people who are creative in nature, who are relevant and related to sciences in any field, any particularity of science. I'm sure you people will gain a lot of benefit by going to the website of Comstech, by using their technology portal, and I'm sure something good will come out of it. This is Faheem Bangash signing off. Keep watching Sky's the Limit. Keep watching BTV World. Khudafis.